Hello, hello, hello. Are we there? Let's just have a little check. Make sure we've got a stream. Seems to be having a little bit of trouble with the camera tonight. Where are we? Refresh. Just going to make sure everything's okay. Well, we appear to be live. Everything looks all right. Not entirely sure. Anyway, does someone want to say hello and tell me that this is working all right, so we can crack on? Because at the moment I'm not entirely sure. Evening, Will. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, that's looking okay, isn't it? How are you doing, Will? You okay? You good your end? Right, okay. 3 watching. Cheers, Danny. Good evening, mate. How's life doing, Will? Are you back to your fishing yet, or is it still gone for the time being? Because I know you were struggling to get out, weren't you? Yeah, it'll probably go up and down, Danny, as people come in and out. I've only just started, and it takes me a while to get things running on this thing. In fact, there you go. It's looks like it's frozen on me already. It's been done nothing but misbehave for the last 10 minutes. I've been trying to get on, and it's just not having it at all. It just keeps freezing on me, or the camera goes off, or whatever. I'm sure the audio's still there and all right, but the camera just seems to have a mind of its own tonight. So I'll see if I can change it and get it back again. There we go. I'm unfrozen. Such a pain in the arse. Let's do a little bit of a transition. There you go. Put something on the screen. Plodding on with yourself and the kids. Yeah. Okay, mate. Fishing gone for now. You got custody of the kids. Yeah, a few hours in every now and then next year. To be honest, mate, if you pick your waters right and you strip your gear out to travel light and stuff like that, then you should still do all right. I mean, I literally only go fishing 6 hours a week, and that's it. But if you pick the waters which you've got a decent stock of fishing with your few 20s to aim at, generally you do quite well, especially if you can get somewhere local as well, somewhere you can pop down every now and again and trickle some bait in. 30 pound a roach on the whip. I can guess where that's from, Danny. I'll guess the Ribble. I'll tell you what, this camera's twitching again, isn't it? You see it just going do. It was doing that all last week as well. It's a pain in the arse. Held all day, swinging roach in, 10 ounces. Hemp caster and bread. Yeah, it's you need something light, don't you? You don't. If you're standing up all day holding a pole or a whip, then it's got to be light, hasn't it? Otherwise, you just end up taking a break. Evening, Ian. Good to see you, mate. You haven't broke the lake record, have you, at Brooms Cross, Ian? It come up on my news feed the other day. Lake record's gone on. Was it up at Alt? And I saw it. I thought, oh, I wonder if Ian's been fishing there. Yeah, I think you'll be all right. Well, if you can just do the short sessions, like pick your waters carefully, and you don't need a lot of time to catch carp. You just need space, and for there not to be many people around. If you can find the water that's you've got a little bit of room on, then all you got to do then is find them, and if you keep looking, and get on them for a few hours, and that usually works for me. That's the way I've always fished, and I don't think it'll hamper you too much, mate. It shouldn't do anyway. Been baiting a few local waters with pike baits in case Boris has a wobble. Well, I know he's not going to lock us down at Christmas, but after Christmas, it might well come down to that. Like, they just seem to be banging on about it all the time, don't they? It does seem to be a milder version of this Omicron. It doesn't seem to be hospitalising as many people. Like, most people just have it as a mild cold. So I don't know what the answer is. I'm sorted if he does lock us down. To be honest, I've half a mind not to take any notice of it. And if you ever get caught out, just shrug your shoulders and say, well, if Downing Street can have a party and nobody gets prosecuted, then get stuffed. Do what you want. That's pretty much the way people are going to look at it. Like, if you can't have one rule for them and one for everyone else, they can't have a party. Why everybody else is in lockdown, nothing gets done about it. So why would anybody take any notice? Is my take on it. And I'm certainly, if he locks us down, I'm probably going to take no notice of it, to be honest. On the fishing front, that is. I'm still going to go fishing, regardless. Got a few close by to try me as soon as the weather warms up. Yeah, well, at the moment, mate, you don't need to be out there, do you? It's the days are short, finished at 4 o'clock, and the kids to see to. Like, you might as well just go with the flow, and wait until the spring, maybe when the clocks have gone, and then you can start thinking about nicking a few hours here and there, like. Hoping to get out Friday and Boxing Day. Yeah, I've got to work Friday, but Boxing Day definitely out. I was actually thinking of going on Christmas Day because it's Saturday, and Saturday is my normal fishing day. But I think I'll wait until Boxing Day. Trouble is, there'll be more people on the bank on Boxing Day, won't there? Everybody will have the Christmas presents out, and they all want to get out and have a go. And I reckon Boxing Day will be busy. It usually is, but we'll see. I've got every day off except New Year's Eve. Once I finish on Christmas Eve, I go back in on New Year's Eve. So I've got like 6 days. Obviously Christmas Day, I'll have to do the family thing, like, but after that, I've got a work party midweek next week, and apart from that, I can go fishing every day if I want. So I shall get at least 2 days on the bank, maybe 3. Who knows? Yeah, Boxing Day for 3 nights. And I think a lot of people do that, don't they? And they go on Boxing Day and then go home on New Year's Eve. Or they'll get 2 or 3 nights in. A lot of people seem to do that. Once Christmas is out of the way, like, they're off on their toes, aren't they? I'm just going to play it by ear, mate, and see how it goes. I'll just do the days and hopefully try and get on the fish. Could be easier said than done, but you know, I'll try my best. I wish I could stop this camera from fidgeting. Seems if I don't move and I stop talking, it doesn't go so bad. I think I've got a loose wire somewhere. Planning on Mr. Chubb and Mr. Dace and Mr. Pike. Yeah, fair play, Danny. It's quite cold over Christmas, like, so the chub will probably be all right, and obviously the pike as well. Dace, yeah. You know, if you're heading back to the Ribble again, then yeah, you'll probably do all right with the roach and dace, or the Dane. Depends where you're going, I suppose. Mr. Tyler, all right, mate. Good to see you. Yeah. I've got no presents to open on Christmas Day anyway. Just thought I'd tell you all that. But I have got a present. I bought myself. That's not just a dead cat. You know, the dead cats you get for that go on your microphone to stop the wind going while you're out filming. That is not just a dead cat. It's actually a microphone. The dead cat's just on it. And if I pull it out, there you go. There's the mic. That's what I got for Christmas. But the good thing about it, and I'm trying to lighten my gear, and you know, carry less stuff and stuff like that. So the good thing about this is you take your smartphone and it just plugs in the side, like so, and it plugs into the bottom of your smartphone. So you've got a microphone. There you go. And obviously you can put the dead cat on as well, like that. So you can actually film on your smartphone with your dead cat on, and everything's all right because the camera's on this side of the phone, so it doesn't. The fact that that's there doesn't interfere or it doesn't get seen at all, and it actually works pretty well. I've tried it, tested it, and it is actually spot on. So I'm looking forward to using that in the new year on my phone. So if I can film on my phone, because I take my phone with me anyway, then technically I can leave either my camcorder or my DSLR at home and use this. And obviously I bought the Anker power bank last week, so I've got I can charge on the bank, you know, while I'm in between doing clips and stuff like that. I can recharge it on the bank. So we'll see how that goes, but it's a Rode microphone, so it's really good quality. Rode's very, very good audio, and it sounds lovely. It sounds like this Yeti that I've got here. So I'm happy with that. Like, it just worked out quite well. So that was my little Christmas present to myself. So let's see. So many things you can do with the Ribble, indeed. It is a class river. Whip, bolo for dace, roach. Picking up a new GoPro. Right, okay. This one I've got now is going to be a dedicated camera. Just sit behind me, record long shots. Yeah, understood. It pays to have two cameras, Danny. I've worked that out as well. Like, sometimes I get, you know, I've got one camera pointing one way and one the other, and you can swap between the two. Just extra footage in it that you can go through. Wonder what drain that has on the battery. I'm not sure, mate, to be honest. I would imagine it will drain it, a bit more than it would by just using the microphone that's built into the phone. But it's much better audio, and to be honest, wind going through your videos is not a good look. I try and get rid of as much of mine as possible, to the point where I end up sometimes I end up filming the same scene 10 times just to get rid of it. And I'll be looking at the sound meter while I'm talking, and then you'll hear it go and I'll stop and start again, and I'll so I'm hoping the windshield on it will help, but we'll see. But as well as that, it came with a few other little things as well. A phone holder and a little handheld thing here. Whether you can see that says Rode on it. Rode microphone, and that screws in there. Your phone fits in there, and this is a light, which gets even brighter. And you can obviously, like if you're not lit up very well, putting that on with it's got a little diffuser that goes over it, brightens your shot. So it's all part of the same thing. It's all pretty good. Rode Vlogger Kit, it's called. The Rode Vlogger Kit. Meant for mobile phones and filming on phones and stuff like that. So, I'll have one of them. And I've got to say, from the testing I've done with it, because I picked it up, I had it delivered a couple of days ago, and from what I've seen of it so far, testing it in here, it's going to be great. Actually really good. Right, let's see. Saves me having to get up and down on the bank when I got a shoal. Yeah. There's always something with your filming, isn't there? Just one of those things, isn't it? You'd have to stop mid something and do something with the camera. It's such a nuisance. But yeah, it's got to be done, hasn't it, to get the film in the can. See, Samsung did head in when they removed the audio jack, like the pushing wireless headphones. Yeah. So wouldn't be able to charge and use at the same time. I've never used headphones with my phone, Danny. I don't listen to anything on it. I just literally just use it for phone calls and text and internet and stuff like that. So I've never actually had a pair of headphones plugged into mine. I wouldn't listen to music on it or anything like that. Really, Ian, that's a good one, isn't it? £37 9 ounces. You'd had it 37.4. Same peg, same spot, same night. Obviously, a year later. So it's only put on what? 5 ounces in a year. Is that right? It's not a particularly big weight gain, that is it? Clockwork carp. Yeah. I wish I could do something about this camera. It's just annoying as hell, isn't it? Just on the screen, I can see it going. It's doing me head in. Evening, Louis. All right, mate. Evening, Peter Hamilton. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, 4 ounces, Ian. 5 ounces. It's not a lot of weight gain, is it? Time for tea. You'd expect a fish that was 37.4 last year to be knocking on the door of 40. You've enjoyed the carping this year. Good fun. Yeah, I've enjoyed mine as well, Danny, for the first time in a long time. I'm only fishing, that small local water because I've got duties at home to do with caring for a relative, but I've had such a good year, carp fishing wise, absolutely brilliant. I literally haven't blanked since April. On a Saturday, fishing on Saturdays, that is. I've done a few short Wednesday sessions which have been really short, but I just haven't put a foot wrong all year. Absolutely battered it. You caught a tufty, Louis. Oh dear. Huh. Never mind, mate. I hope you put it back alive. Belmont last year, some carp put in at 17 and others now 22. Yeah, and that's because it's been destocked, Annie. You've only got about, 20 odd fish in it now, something like that. So there's loads of room for them, and they'll fill out a lot better. There's less in the water in the way of pheromones, which restrict their growth and stuff like that, and there's more natural food available for them as well. So they'll eat more and they'll grow more. Same fishery in batch, yeah, 33. Is there 33 fish in there now, is there? That's gone up a bit, hasn't it? I thought it was 20. You're gonna have 20 fish in there. But yeah, if the less amount of fish that's in there, the bigger they will grow, as they say. How so with the weird, Louis? What's weird about it, mate? How so with the weird? 25 last year, and now another 8. You want to try and get them to keep it at that if you can, Danny. Don't add any more, because the more you add, they won't reach the maximum size with more fish in the water. There'll come a point where they won't, they'll top out and won't go anymore. So I'd leave it at 33. That's good enough. 20 C5s, 5 C6s, 3 originals, 3 more C6, 30 in total. Good. Yeah, it sounds like the stock's about right, Danny. You don't want to play with it any more than that. High reward type of anglers. Runs water, you just get idiots. Well, that's true. Absolutely, mate. I just can't argue with that at all. But yeah, any water that's difficult, they generally tire. They go off with the tail between their legs, don't they, and don't fish there anymore because they can't catch anything. So they always end up going like some kind of runs water. So yeah. That should be something you aim for on most of your waters, to be honest. You've got to have a runs water to cater for the idiots, but really you should be looking at keeping all your waters like that if you can. High reward. Bites and fish shown in different times to the so-called norm. Not as many been out either. So, I don't know, Louis, they might have just changed their behaviour a little bit. Sometimes they do that. Things go on in their environment, and they'll change what they're doing or where they go or how they patrol and stuff like that. It's difficult to put a finger on it, isn't it? On what's going on. But what I would be doing is, instead of looking at the usual places, if they're not producing, is look at what the fish are doing and follow them. The fish are showing you where they want to get caught and where they're hanging out. So just go with the flow, mate. Five other fish catching her up. Big fish though, Ian. £37. That's huge for the Merseyside area. But, it's odd, isn't it? It's just one of them random things, like same time, same day, same swim. A year later. You just couldn't make it up, could you? Something's going on there. There's got to be something going on. Yeah, well, once they reach, if they do reach £30, like if they actually get there, then yeah, there'll be, anglers looking to fish it, looking for those rewards, Danny. Everybody wants to catch a 30 if they can. But, sometimes fish of that size, they attract their own special kind of idiot. So, don't think you're rid of them, because you might not be. Yeah, they're up and down all over the place, aren't they, mate? I hope you're right, mate. I hope they hit 30 for you. But yeah, it's the temperature all over the place at the moment. It's bitterly cold today. I went outside to put the bin out earlier on and it was absolutely freezing. It couldn't have been any more than 4 or 5 degrees for the daytime high today, which is quite bad. But, now it's raining and it seems to have turned a bit milder. Bizarre. Yeah, well, if every bite you get a 20, anybody looking for the first 20 is going to certainly want a piece of that. If you've got a water and all the fish are over £20 and you want your first 20, if you fish that water and keep going back and back and back and back and back, eventually when you get one, it's a 20. Mission accomplished. Just got to catch one. And yeah. Should be interesting, mate. Yeah. I've been seeing adverts as well, like for the waiting list this past week on Facey. Hard. Yeah, I'm not really into night fishing, like just, camping out for days on end and grinding them out's not really my kind of thing. I'd rather keep to my short sessions myself, but bivvy life's not for me, as they say. But I would imagine if you're fishing somewhere like that, just fishing the days might be quite good. I know the lads, it'll be full of bivvies and stuff like that, but I think the day angler has a different slant on things and a different way of doing things, and I reckon they've got as much chance as anybody who does nights and fishes 2 or 3 days at a time. Yeah, well, I've got some decent waters these days, Danny. It's certainly changed a lot from when I was a member. I was a member in the kind of like early to mid 90s, around about 94, and I joined and fished Grimstitch Mill, which at the time had a few fishing, like not many, but a few. But it was quite close to the motorway and easy to get to. But I didn't like the club and the bailiffs. Turning up and shining the torch in your face at 2 o'clock in the morning is not what you want from a fishing club that's, supposed to be looking after you and doing the right thing. So I binned it and never went back, and I've never been a member since. Been in every other club in the region, but I wouldn't rejoin them again. Basin weight. On the verge of camping. Oh dear, that's no good. Yeah, it is going to be hard, Danny. You've got your work cut out changing that, because those bailiffs did that to so many people. Their name was mud for years, and it still is in a lot of circles. They just don't. People just don't want to know. You just say the name of the club, and everybody goes there, and you'll have a lot of trouble turning that around. I'm telling you. £4,000 of fish, yeah. Well, a stocking programme helps, doesn't it? I like Warrington's stocking programme. They trickle a couple of 20s into their waters every year, and it seems to work quite well. They've got some decent waters now, and some very, very decent fish. They're making use of their what's the word I'm looking for? Making use of their assets. Yeah, well, it wasn't last year, was it? I know they had a waiting list, formed a waiting list last year, didn't they? Yeah, chaos. That just about sums it up, yeah. Yeah, but it's all good fun. Oh, this bloody camera. I don't actually know what I can do to stop this camera. If I touched any of those wires, it'll just go off completely. And I don't know. It's a nuisance. Yeah, Warrington chaos. I found that it was a lot of. They were just busy, but if you can find the gaps between the people, find the fish, and work out how to catch them, sometimes you can get through to them. I certainly fancy having a look at their waters next year. I can't really be bothered staying another year on this lake. I mean, I've battered it this year. I've had most of the fish out over the last few years, and there's not many I haven't caught, and I'm getting an awful lot of repeat captures in my fishing at the moment. I'm looking at the fish in the net thinking, yeah, I've had you twice, I've had you 3 times, I've had you 4 times, and it's getting ridiculous. So I will be moving on to somewhere new next year, but I just don't know where yet. Yeah, where are we? Yeah, Louis in the camping. Your time will come, mate, Louis. It's just, if you keep plugging away at it and keep trying to get on the fish, sooner or later they'll come your way, won't they? That's my take on it anyway. If at first you don't succeed, you just keep going back. Yeah, 4 bivvies on a sandbank. Yeah, I've seen it like that myself. And yet other times I've been there and I've had that sandbank to myself. But I still haven't had a fish out of that lake. The fruit lake. There's quite a few 20s in there as well. A few of my mates have had 20s out recently. And there's, if you can put your time in and fish well, even just doing days. They were only doing days, and they caught quite a few 20s between them. So I'll have another go on there for sure, but I think I'm going to pick my times. Don't want to go in a busy period. Where I'm at Secret Lake, when it's time to move on. Oh, that place where you filmed all your videos on. Are you bored with that now, are you? Notice it's only been twice this year. Yeah, there's a few manky ones in there, Danny. That's just part of the course, isn't it, mate? It's a busy water, and you're going to get that. One good thing about the water I'm fishing, you know which one it is. It's the fish in there are quite tidy. There's not really many manky ones. I've had one or two, but not many, and most of them are pristine. I've had some lovely lookers out this year, but I can't stay on there catching the same fish over and over again. Yeah, good winter water because nobody's fishing it. I always find that carp in winter, if there's nobody fishing the lake, then usually the fishing's quite good. Or if you wanted a snow carp, yeah. I got one of them out of, I've had two in my life. One came out of the Weaver, and I caught one about 4 or 5 years ago from a PA water. Only me second snow carp in my life. I've switched Ian to the back-to-back. I'll be honest. I'm not sure you'd call mine a shock leader knot. Like there's a leader knot on my channel, on my YouTube channel, just called it shock leader knot. I'm not sure what its official name is, but it's a knot I've used for donkey's years. But I've switched now to a back-to-back grinner, and it actually works quite well. It's been nice. I've been using it on leaders are banned. The water I used to use shock leaders on, they've banned them now. They've banned leaders and brought in a 3-ounce lead limit, so that should tell you where it is if you know your waters. And you've got to fish like straight through line now with the 3-ounce lead, but you are still allowed a leader on your spod, and I've been using a back-to-back grinner for me spodding, and I like it. It's a good knot. Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say about that, Danny. You are, of course, right. That does happen, but only to you. I've never had anyone crying to me that I'm fishing their favourite swim or anything like that. The swim's occupied, it's occupied, and that's that. But yeah. That's entirely down to you, mate. I don't think anybody else has had that either. But yeah, everybody has their favourite swims, and nobody likes to see someone with the video camera in them. I don't know whether he was quiet. I'm not even sure who it was, to be honest. I've got my own ideas on who it was. And he is a bit of a whinger, if I'm honest. But water under the bridge, mate, at the end of the day. Water under the bridge. Yeah. If I switch to WAA waters next year anyway, at least I'll be able to get my camera out and do some proper filming instead of just fishing. I've quite enjoyed just fishing actually, and not bothering filming anything. It's just nice to just sit there on a Saturday afternoon, get the rods out, get on the fish, set the traps, trip them up. It's been really enjoyable. But I've never been a slave to the video camera anyway, mate. It's I do it when I feel like. You've had some nice pike this winter, right? Okay. I've not done any predator fishing now for 2 years. We were locked down last winter, so I didn't do any, and I did very little the winter before because my shoulder was bad. So I've not done any for quite a while. Now would be the time I usually would go, because it's dark at like 10 to 4:45, and I have difficulty getting out of the house in the morning, mate. So short lure sessions in the afternoon, like midday till 3 or 4, are usually what keep me going at this time of year. But I've decided to do carp this time round. Fish through the winter for carp. Keep the good work quiet, yeah. Not much piking on the channel. Yeah, I would imagine there's quite a few people waiting for your pike fishing, to be honest, Danny, because that's one of the things that you're quite well known for. Yeah. You get people following you around, mate. I don't know why, I don't get any of that, I just to keep myself to myself when I'm on the bank. A few people recognise me and say hello, but in general, like, most people just don't bother me at all. Like, don't get anybody who's oh, you do that YouTube channel, and nobody's actually ranted at me or anything like that. Most of them are quite okay about it, like, and they're good to talk to. And I don't really feel like anybody's spying on me or anything like that, or watching me, what I'm doing or anything like that. I've generally managed to keep myself to myself all year. Only one person's even seen me rigging bait. Hiya, Ewan. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. The live streams are back. I'm sorry about the twitchy picture, which is annoying the hell out of me. It really is. I will endeavour to get that fixed, but I don't know what's going on with it, to be honest. I might try and move the camera and put it somewhere else where I don't have to use such a long lead. I don't know. Yeah, don't take this the wrong way. You don't have anything to be jealous over, have you? Have you noticed that the thread on the PS4 is all about sponsorship? Yes, and I don't accept sponsorships, Danny. In the first place, I never would. Yeah, nothing at all. Like, I'm not in it for sponsorships. I don't want a sponsorship. I might go to Bricky's over Christmas, Danny. I'm not sure. At the moment, I'm thinking of heading to Cheshire and just going fishing. Sort the Bricky's out in the new year. I've got a couple of videos I need to film on there, at least 3. That I need to get ticked off. 3 different subjects. One of them's adjustable zigs, as you know, because I've just put an upload on the other week. But I've got 2 more besides that I'm not going to say much about. But yeah, I need to get my arse up there, like, and get my videos filmed. Yeah, probably Danny, yeah. But like I said, I'm never going to be sponsored by anybody. I've knocked them all back. I've had offers. I've only had one this year, like someone got in touch with me offering me to, saying, you know, will you review an item for us? And I said no. And I think it was about a fortnight later, there was another YouTuber reviewing the same item. It just made me laugh. But yeah, no, I'm not going to be sponsored by anybody. It's not for me. Yeah, Bricky's is okay. Like, I mean, it's busy, Danny, and there's a lot of people on there, and it's very noisy. It's easy to catch fish from. There's loads of them in there, and it should be an easy place to make films. But apart from that, it's not a water I would normally fish, to be honest. I mean, it's been available to me for 30 years, and I did fish there in the early 1990s, but I only went once and never went again. But it seems a lot better now. Like, it's matured over the years. You know, like, it's got nice tree line now in places. Like, it's not so bad, not as bad as it was. But yeah, it's a nice place nowadays. Like, yeah, filming, if it was sponsored, yeah, there'd be a more carp thread. You're probably right, but you know, I've no interest in that. I'm actually the other way around. I don't like tackle companies. I think they overcharge people, they rip people off, and generally, you know, they're not very nice people. Is what I think of tackle companies. You know, they don't do a fair deal, especially bait companies. Bait companies are the worst of all. You know, the barrier of entry into making bait and becoming a bait company is so low that, you know, anyone with a few quid can go and buy a rolling table and a sausage gun and proclaim themselves a bait company. And there's so many of them around, and the bent as a 10 bob note. They really are. So I'll never be sponsored by any of them. I wouldn't have my name associated with them, to be honest. And I don't like the tackle companies who outsource work to China and have it brought back here. But you know all this. I won't have anything to do with them. Like, they sell British people down the river for profit and more money for themselves, and then expect you to, you know, be a team member or whatever. Just piss off. A lot of them can sling their hooks, mate. So I make videos to, you know, do things on the cheap and find alternative ways, you know, of not spending your money, of keeping it in your wallet instead of putting it in theirs. The best way to describe tackle companies and bait companies, mate, is snake oil salesmen. That's what I think of them. So yeah, now you know. I think if I joined Warrington, would only be the Fruit Lake for roach. Yeah, I'm going to try Fruit Lake for carp, mate. It's time I got one out of there. It's a water I've never had a 20 from, and if I can put one on the bank, it'll chalk another one off. I'm so close to having 30 different waters I've caught 20s from. I think I'm up to about 20, late 20s. I can't remember if it's 28, maybe 27 different waters I've caught 20s from. So I'm quite happy to go and fish there, like, and see if I can winkle one out. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of getting rid of a few idiots who just keep putting voy, FYI, whatever that means. They're being taken out. Sure there was another one. No. No, I got rid of them. Yeah, sorry about them. Where are we? Through Lake Roach. Yeah, I'll go there for carp. Big billinge. Told me who the cocks are. Who are the cocks again? Believe they moved carp out of there and the tench not as prolific now. Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, easy for carp, yeah. Yeah, I've seen how close those carp come in on that sandy bank, mate. They come right into the shallow water. And yeah, I can imagine them being around your feet. Yeah, there was never many in the little one, to be honest. It's the big billinge that's got the decent ones in. A lot of your earlier vids were on little billinge. I remember watching some of them, yeah, little billinge. That was a good few years ago, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that carp under your feet, where everybody's casting over them. It's just, it's par for the course, mate. Just 30 wraps on the fruit lake. Can anybody on the fruit lake cast 30 wraps? Yeah. You've seen the Argos tents and the you've seen the Argos tents and the short rods and everything like that they use on there. You'd got no got a snowball's chance in hell. Bush to the right, 3 feet out. Yeah, that sounds about right. There's something about the margins either side of that sandy bank. They're quite deep, and I think the fish get in there because basically there's no pressure on the place. You know, everybody's casting out to the middle and there's lines running through the waters, but in the edge, around the bush, there's no angling pressure. Nobody ever puts a bait there, so the fish will sit off, quietly minding their own business. That's it's par for the course, isn't it? You see that happening a lot. Yeah. I'll ask again there, Ian, because you haven't answered yet, mate. Who's the cocks? I think it's called Bully. Bully's the one that's dead, isn't it? Tell you what, I'm having to hide an awful lot of spammers here. I think that's about 4 or 5 now. Yeah. I think we've all been there, Danny, when we haven't had a 20 and you see a massive one like that and it falls off or bow waves off. I had a similar story about Moby in Cape Thorne. I hadn't had a 30 and I lost him at the net. Hook pull just as it was, and literally I lunged at it and it was just out of range of the cord. Absolutely gutted. Moby. Only known 30 in the lake at the time. These things happen, mate. pick yourself up, dust yourself off and carry on. And sooner or later, your luck will change. The ones who leave the lake, the Otter Lake gate open. Has Billinge got an otter fence around it now? Am I missing something here? I didn't know Billinge had an otter fence. Is that right? Yeah, well, you'll lose you'll lose one of them as well sooner or later, Danny. You go fishing that much, mate, you lose fish sooner or later. It happens to all of us, doesn't it? Whether it's a pike or a carp or whatever. You'll hook a lump and you'll be telling a sorry story. I've got plenty of sorry stories, mate. They're building one. Right, okay. I didn't know that. I can understand why. It's a pity we can't build one on our side of the railway track. But, Billinge's gain is our loss, because without a fence round ours and a fence round Billinge, the only place they'll be able to go is our side of the tracks. So it will effectively kill our water, probably. Biggest you've ever seen, 47. Yeah, it's hell of a fish, that, isn't it? Yeah. I've seen one of that size as well when I was in France. 47, 48. Massive fish. Wow moment. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you go to France for, Danny. Fish of that size. It's everyone I know who's been regularly has they've all had 50s. I don't know anyone who's been to France and not had a 50 who goes regularly every year. Ewan, decent brace of pike last week, 18 on lures. Nice, mate. At least you're getting out again. You did make a comment there, Ewan, didn't you? And it slipped my mind. I read it and then carried on and thought I'll answer that in a minute. And it's gone. Where is it? Got rid of another spammer. Ewan. Not had the motivation to make any videos anymore, plus putting up anything about showing pike and perch spots. Always a risk on the venues, so I've put it on hold, but still out. Right, okay, yeah, Ewan, no worries, mate. I don't blame you. It does bring it on top, and I think you've got to pick your waters carefully, like when you're filming. One question I get regularly, and I get it off virtually the same person all the time. Where's that, mate? Where's this, mate? Where's that, mate? Where you fishing, mate? And I never say, unless it's a day ticket water and open access, and you can go on and just pay a day ticket and fish it. I would never say, you don't bring it on top for club waters and stuff like that. You keep them quiet. But it's a question I seem to get all the time, like, where's that, mate? Where's that, mate? Don't answer them. You got to be 30. Yeah. Now you've still got a beatable French PB, and that's the thing, innit? You can go back and enjoy catching a bigger one in future. Yeah, you can actually get places, can't you, Danny, with that have got houses on them, or like units or whatever you want to call them, just places with a kitchen and a shower and stuff like that. And the swims are on the lake, so you can sit there with the family for a week while you've got your rods out the back gate or in the back garden. That seems like quite a good holiday. Home to fishing life more balanced now. Is that because you're working from home? Yeah. Yeah. You've got to be careful sometimes, if the water's open access or if it's a club water or anything like that, it can bring it on top a little bit. But if it's a day ticket, then day tickets are fair game, aren't they? That's fair enough. But some things are best left unsaid in fishing, definitely, and it will bring it on top if you name the venue. It's okay if you're going to somewhere like Linear Fisheries or you're off to France or somewhere like that, but if you've got big local fish that aren't generally well known and you start sticking them in a video, then you just end up with people trying to hunt you down. Yeah, there probably would have been quite a few people after it, Danny. I'm made up to see a double from the Dane, to be honest, because yours is the only barbel that I've heard of from that river in 18 months now. And I do actually have my ear to the ground. I know people who fish the Dane on a regular basis, and none of them have even had a barbel. So the fact that you got a double out is good. Canal 20 video was well filmed. You mean you hid it? You hid where it was from. Brace of £2 perch the other week. Nice one, Ewan. 13 fish all over a pound, and 8 of them were £2 as big as 2.98, all on lures. Nice one. You've hit the jackpot there, mate. I've been looking for a shoal of fish like that for a long time and I haven't got one. I know Paul did a few years ago, didn't he? He hit the jackpot with a load of 2-pounders. It's, when you find a shoal like that, you should milk it for all it's worth before they move on. Yeah, not many you'll fish magazine hemp, Danny. Usually, mostly it's pellet and cheese paste for the chub, and they rove. They'll spend time in different swims on different stretches. Generally, they just end up with the odd chub to £3 or £4, 5 at the most, whereas they used to get regular barbel in the kind of £5 to £8 range. For the last few years, I don't think anybody's had any. Just chub, just the odd chub, and not very many of them. Less of them than they used to. Yes, mate, 5 years. I can believe that. I know a few people who've stumbled across shoals like that, Ewan, and they've had like the catches of a lifetime. I know a few people who've had more than 10 2-pounders in a day, and a couple of threes in there as well, like 3.5. I think one lad had a 3.12 that I know of, in with a ruck of 2-pounders. Just got lucky and found them, and if you can, then you get in for a treat. But well done, mate. 5 years to find them. Let's hope it doesn't take you another 5 to find them again. Face, yeah. You went to a normal area and the road was closed, so went somewhere and never been before. Yeah, that's fate. I'd quite agree with that, mate. Your name was on that fish, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Just one of those things. Yeah. Still waiting for the 3, but I tell you what, you and 2.98 near enough, mate. Yeah. when you break your PB, it's going to be a free, isn't it? You can't, unless you catch a 2.99. It's likely to be a free. You'll get there, mate. If you're starting to find those bigger fish now, and you've been fishing for a good few years now, then you should be finding your way through to them eventually. Time's the one that does it, you, and just keep going back. Just keep going back and keep trying. And, eventually you'll find the right day, right time, right place. Only ever had one 3 pound and had it from the 7. Yeah, I've had a few round 2.5, 3 pound Danny, but they were all from the team, river team. But most barbel are generally 4 pound and over, aren't they? I've had a few 4s from the 7, but most of them, the majority have actually been over 5. I assume that's barbel you're talking about, Danny. Is it barbel? Oh, perch, sorry. Yeah, the 7's a class river for perch, mate. Not many people know it, and you've got to know where to look for them. But there's some cracking perch in the 7. Very underrated. Same for pike. There's loads of pike in there as well, but again, not many people fish it. I think you need to. The key is to be mobile and be prepared to walk quite a way to try different spots. But yeah, there's some nice perch and pike in that river. Very dangerous place though in the winter, as I know, to be cost. But I won't tell you that story again, you already know it, don't you? Yes, mate, well bollocks. The banks are just so treacherous in winter. It's just no. I know a lot of people do still fish it, and fish it even when it's in flood, and they're catching fish, but it's not for me. Yeah, and of course there's an hour and 20 minutes to get there as well. I think it's more than that for me, to be honest. Usually, yeah, 1 hour 20 if I boot it, and usually an hour and 30, hour and 40 if I don't, if I take my time. So it's not a place I go to that often. Not actually done any barbel fishing for a few years now, since I stopped making the videos. I've not managed to get back down there again. Usually I've stuck with the carp, which it's always very difficult to drag myself away from carp fishing because I like it so much. But I do occasionally get bored of it and fancy a change, and I will get down there again. Maybe next year, we'll see. But the price of fuel puts me off going down there as well, to be honest. It's quite expensive travelling at the moment, isn't it? Yeah, how many pike have you driven past before you get out of Cheshire? Quite a lot, mate. Yeah. One place I'm surprised you haven't tried, Danny, is the Weaver. And there's a lot of pike in the Weaver on the quiet. There's some good spots on there, and there's some decent fish as well. And it's got a lot of silverfish in the Weaver, hasn't it? There's plenty of roach in there and bream and stuff like that. So there's lots of fodder for the pike, and there's enough food in that river to help some of them attain £20 if you can find them. I think they're few and far between 20s in the river, but they are there. There seems to be plenty of doubles in there. £80 to fill the car, yeah. Yeah, when the rain comes. Yeah, I used to hate it when it rained on that river. Is that actually in the summer the fishing was great when it rained, and the carp fishing on the Weaver is fantastic after rain, when the river starts flowing a little bit and it starts pushing that little bit harder than the canal. The carp went nuts. But in winter, when that happens and it goes chocolate coloured, it kills it for days. Always found it was best in there after rain in the summer. It was great, and in winter, any period of prolonged high pressure, when the colour would drop out of it and it'd go quite clear, would fish its bollocks off for carp and pike. Yeah, well, they're both flood rivers, aren't they, Danny? The Severn and the Dee. They're problems. You can end up in the fields one day if we get too much rain. Yeah, well, it's a spate river, the Ribble, isn't it? It runs off a lot quicker. Yeah, right. I think I'm going to wrap it up, because it's 9:15. I've been trying to keep these to an hour, and as usual, I never succeed. But there we go. So yeah, I'll call it a day here, if you don't mind, chaps. I don't know who's on besides Danny and Ewan. I know Ian's been in tonight, Mr. Blue. Who else was here? So many deleted messages I'm going through here. There's been some right weirdos on here tonight. I think they're all spam bots. Mr. Tyler was in. Mr. T. Louis. Yeah, keep plugging away, Louis, mate. They'll come. And I know Will was in early, and Peter as well, Peter Hamilton. Mr. T, Ian. I think that's it. They're the only people who've spoken anyway. I'm sure there's been one or two more people watching who've said nothing. So, yeah, take it easy, guys. I've name checked as many of you as I can. And yeah, another quiet one tonight. I really should start advertising it more, like, to see if we can get some of the regulars back. But I haven't been doing that of late. But I'll get round to it. Anyway, cheers, guys. I'll see you all next week, hopefully. Merry Christmas. Have a good one. I will get on between Christmas and New Year on the Wednesday. I've got a work party that Wednesday, so I know I'll be home. So yeah, next Wednesday night is game on. So cheers, lads, and I'll catch you all soon. Merry Christmas and all the best for the new year. And tight lines.